This meeting is called to order. We have a new public meetings thing that I have to say. It's going to take a while to get used to. This meeting is called to order pursuant to the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting was included in the annual notice of meetings published in the Union County Local Source and the Newark Star Ledger on January 12, 2023. Said notice was posted in the bulletin board reserved for public notices in the municipal building and has remained continuously posted as required by law. In addition to a copy of this notice has been made available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. All contracts awarded by mayor and council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975 C127. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you are alerted for a fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the municipal clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of this meeting.
We can change this if you want.
I don't love any of it. Yeah.
It is different.
Call the roll.
Right.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Robina.
Present.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Andrew, please lead us in the opening prayer followed by a pledge of allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, I'm still trying to get used to this.
There are no communications for consideration this evening. However, we do have a proclamation. I'm going to ask the Diversity Inclusion Committee and Chairman Chris Monroe to come up. What's going on? My shoes look fantastic today. Good. What? Is the shoe untied? Hi there. Oh, wait. How's it going? Hi.
How you doing, man?
I thought I was gonna look. I thought I was gonna be the flashy
No,
one
you
tonight.
want to fly. You can't.
You ruined it. So, I'm not going to say much, but I just want to say that when I first got elected, the diversity inclusion, well, it was just the diversity committee, didn't really do much, to be honest with you. And under the leadership of first Greg Johnson, then Councilman Johnson, and now Chris, you guys have done a great job. So I wanted to have you guys here to recognize Black History Month, also the month of my birth, so two great things. And with that, I'll let Greg do the talking and then Chris, obviously.
Well, I'm not going to do too much talking,
Yeah.
but it wasn't just me. It was the committee and the people that you put together on the next team going forward. It was easier to manage, and I love working with these individuals, and I look forward to making more monumental projects and things to come. But I don't want to steal the thunder from Chris. I was about to say his speech, and I'll leave that to him. Chair.
I'm glad I came prepared today, this time. But I want to thank Mayor and Council for honoring and acknowledging Black History Month. Something to acknowledge about Black history is that it's a big part of American history, and it's imperative to share that history and knowledge amongst all. We must recognize the contributions of African Americans and how they have profoundly shaped the American culture in many aspects, from arts, music, science, education, politics, sports, inventions, and so much more. So much of Black history is excluded from schools' curriculum and many history books today. This month especially marks a time where we can celebrate the African American history and contributions of great success proudly. Some things that we don't even know in schools is Garrett Morgan, who patented several inventions, including respiratory device that was later provided the blueprint for World War I and gas masks. Josephine Baker was a spy for the French during World War II. Phyllis Wheatley, who was only 12 when she became the first female African-American author published, and many more. So in continuing to shed light with African-American history, which is not ignored, I'm excited to announce that this town will have its first annual Juneteenth festival this coming June. We invite everybody to come out. It will be on Saturday, June 17th from 5 to 9. More details to follow. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. We got a little proclamation for you guys. I'm not going to read it all along. You said enough. But we're going to pose for a picture. Hi, Scarlett. You want to hold on one second? Let me just. Here. We want to do. Yeah. Scarlett, you want to come up? There you go. All right, and then little folks in the middle. Awesome. All right, round of applause for diversity. Okay. We are now at the portion of the meeting reserved for the public hearing on CDBG CV program funds. Activities and priorities of the Borough of Roselle Park. This public hearing is required to get input from residents. Mr. Clerk, please read the proposed projects for the CDBG CV program.
Yes, Mayor. Priority number 1 is Community Center Reconfiguration Project in the amount of $300,000 under the category of Facilities and Public Improvements.
May I have a motion to interrupt the regular order of business to conduct a public hearing on the CDBG CV Community Development Funds?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, you can take it.
You can have it,
No,
Jay.
you can have it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on CDBG CV Community Development Funds?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak on the CDBG CV Community Development Funds should come forward, state their name and address for the records, and provide their comments. Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on CDBG CV Community Development Funds?
Make a motion. Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing on CDBG Community Development Funds is now closed. Great job, everybody. May I have a motion to approve meeting minutes pending corrections?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on agenda items? No? All right, nice. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Getting a little monotonous, huh? Need to spice this up tonight?
I think it's great.
Okay, good. Okay, reports of departments. Rich, you're first. Let's go.
First runner-up.
I just saw you there. It felt right. Enjoy the moment.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I have 2 quick reports for you, then a quick statement.
Rich, just turn the mic on and pull it forward.
Yeah.
You got it. There you go. There you go. It's on.
Okay, good evening, everyone. 2 quick reports, then a quick statement. So I want to do my year-end report because obviously we didn't meet in January for this meeting, this formal meeting. So through the end of December of 2022, we had total revenue in the Construction Code Agency of $731,255, sewer connection fees of $154,983. COA development fees, $219,478, and court dispositions through the court through property maintenance fines of $32,687. So the total revenue through all sources for 2022, which is a record number for us, $1,138,403. We're continuing our proactive enforcement on property maintenance. We also have begun working with the residency inspector from the Board of Education for several issues, including children that are within the school system that really shouldn't be here because they're living in facilities that aren't either zoned for it or been approved. So we are moving forward with that. We have been working with them quite diligently and been very successful so far. So I want to get into my report for January. January, we began hitting it hard. Total revenue, $209,612 for the month of January. We had 133 permits. Of course, we don't have any COA development fees or sewer connection fees as of today, but we will for the rest of the year, no question. We had 12 Uniform Construction Code violations, 6 court dispositions, 17 violations, and 15 court summonses issued for the month of January. The projects, as you can see if you drive up and down Westfield Avenue, are proceeding quite nicely. 10 West Westfield has turned it up a bit because it looks like Building A, they want to try to get that completed by September, start, beginning occupancy in
Yeah, hey, Rich,
sometime
just
in September.
real quick on that one. I believe as part of the redevelopment agreement, they wanted to take over the sidewalk there and take responsibility for it like they did with the First Meridia project?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So I guess I just want to make sure because, we're doing the pre-construction meeting on our side of the T section for the sidewalks is the word I'm looking for. So it'd be nice to, obviously, before they start renting out that Building A, do that before they do anything else, right?
Oh, absolutely. They
So I
need
would imagine
engineering sign-off.
that's going to be a
for it.
prerequisite for a TCO, right?
Correct,
Getting
it's a
that-
prior approval.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Good, yep. all
And
right.
that's just Building A. Building B is a little further, that's a bit in
Sure.
the future, because of course the parking deck issue is still open.
Yeah,
We
which is
still
fine.
have
I think before we have people, look, it's going to be, if half the project's there, half the project's going to look good. I'd like the sidewalk to look good, especially in tandem with the work we're doing. So it just feels like something to keep in mind before we do any, to make sure they're complying with that before
Oh,
they-
absolutely.
Okay,
Be
cool.
100%, no
Cool.
question about
Good.
it.
Yep.
Very quickly, I just have a quick statement, nothing negative, actually very positive.
Okay, good.
Every year, I kind of look at goals and objectives, and I begin this in December. So I have several goals and objectives this year, one of which is to amend the fee schedule for the Construction Code Agency. We have to plan for the future. Once the larger projects, are completed, our revenue is going to drop, so we need to start looking at that quite diligently. And I plan on doing that most likely in May. I'll sit down with Andrew and Ken, and we'll start going over those numbers, and then have a recommendation for the governing body. In addition, I want to start looking at in much more detail the land development ordinance, specifically as it relates to signage, for one issue, uses as another issue. There are still Andrew and I have been working on it over the last couple of years, but there's still conflicts within the ordinance, especially as it relates to case law. So we do want to get that straightened out. And then, of course, whatever input the governing body has as far as uses and whatever their, ideas are, we want to take that into consideration as well. So those are the two larger items that I'd like to address this year. I also want to set the table for the future for the department because, like I said, as these larger projects start drying up, we have to start looking at salaries and wages and see what, we're going to do with those long term. So I've been speaking to Ken about it quite briefly, but we've been talking about it. So one thing I want to try to accomplish in my time here is to make sure that that department is revenue neutral. This year we had a bit of a surplus, which is good, and I would like to give that to you every year. But if not, at least have the department revenue neutral, as is required by the regulations. So with that stated, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Rich, I do actually. You had mentioned the stats for 2022 regarding the students exiting the school district. What are the numbers? Do we have a final count?
I don't have a final count for you. Yeah, I still have to work with the residency inspector, but he's been referring issues to us that the Board of Ed cannot legally take action on. So we take action on it through zoning and planning, and then going to court for illegal uses. So as an example, I have a one-family house that's renting a room to an individual from out of town. The individual is, first of all, we don't have, rumors and borders are not allowed in our code at all. So that's been a big issue. But in addition, what happens is they rent the room, but they never move into the room. They just use the room as an address.
Wow, okay.
So naturally, what we do is we have to violate the owner. Generally, we violate the owner of the property. Once the owner of the property is notified, 99% of the time, we gain compliance. There are one or two that we did have to bring before the judge. But we are making headway there. It's at the beginning. We're just starting. We just started this a few months ago. But we are it's definitely been positive.
Do we have an anticipated number? Is there,
No, not at this
seeing, or
time.
how much
I
are
can get
we
you that number
projected
for
to
next
save?
month.
okay,
I'll get you that number for next
all
month.
right, very good.
But we are working on it.
Thank you. Regarding the Meridia Project, 10 West Westfield Ave, Building B, one that's close to the culvert, any plans to have the culvert cleaned out prior to the building opening up?
I
The
don't
culvert kinda-
believe that the developer plans on cleaning it out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's anything in the developer's
culvert?
agreement, Mayor.
Which one is this we're talking about now?
The B
culvert.
building, the west building.
Between Meridia and Mavis?
I don't think that's their responsibility.
I know it's not their responsibility, but any plans to have it cleaned up for the future when they open up? I'm not saying the onus would be on the developer to clean it up, but have we engaged in any talks with DEP, or is that on us, or?
It's
Just curious.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any immediate plans on it. And Andrew, maybe they just take that as a takeaway. I don't know.
Yeah, I could certainly take it as a takeaway. We did clean that area up not long ago.
Yeah, it's-
This year, we are probably looking to create a more annualized approach to cleaning all of these open channels in town because they tend to accumulate a lot of debris. That same channel goes all the way through town, behind Costa's where nobody can see it. It goes under Chestnut Street and actually comes back out behind Lot 1 and then travels all the way up to Lincoln Avenue. So it's quite an extensive part of the stormwater system. So the developer is not obligated to do it. I mean, if they want to, that'd be great. I'm sure they don't.
We can ask them?
I'm sure they don't. Yeah, I'm sure they're not going to say yes.
Okay.
But we'll take it away, and when we have an update on that annual cleaning, I'll provide it to the governing body for sure.
All right, appreciate that. Any update with Little Caesars? With the
Not at this
roof
point.
issue?
No, not at this point. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
I'll follow up. 'cause
It's in
I'm
the courts
feeling-
right now, right?
I believe it
So,
is. But I haven't been informed of
Yeah,
that.
if I could, I actually spoke to Judy today about
Oh,
that,
good.
knowing that someone would ask at some point. So another violation was issued. It is going back to court. This is like the worst exclamation point. That's kind of all I know. The tenant, the Little Caesars, the tenant of that building is claiming that they do not take ownership of the roof, which is understood, but they do take maintenance of the roof, just like Mavis took maintenance of their portion of the roof. That's their lease. So they're disputing that in some way, shape, or form with code enforcement, so it is still in the court.
And for, I guess, the viewing audience and general public, what we're discussing here is the paint that's chipping off. Mavis, on their portion of the building, had painted it. However, there was some portion that was missed over the Little Caesars side. So that's what's
Okay.
flaking off, if you notice that when you're sitting at the Light of Locust.
We'll
So-
follow up on that, no problem.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep, you
That's
got
all.
it.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thanks,
Thank
Rich.
you, everyone.
Okay. Chief? Fire chief? We got, it's captain still right now. You gotta make it to that special meeting. Stay healthy.
Stay
Yeah, that sounded ominous. That wasn't a threat. Go ahead, Chief.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, council members, administrator, department heads, and members of the audience. Just here's my report. Obviously, I wasn't here in January because I was being sworn in as the chief of the department. So I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for that, and it's a great honor to be serving the department. So going forward, the department is increasing, and we are actively recruiting new members and our younger members for our fire patrol. I'm sure you've noticed there's recruitment flyers have been posted all over town. We're also increasing our social media presence, and we, for the first time, started using a QR code on some of our recruiting flyers. January 31st was the Union County Fire Academy graduation, so I wanted to say congratulations to the two members that graduate, which were Mike Singler from Station 3 and Thomas Schwartz from Station 1. Repairs to the apparatus is ongoing. We're continuing to have conversations with Meridia and Fernmore about fire safety and pre-planning in their buildings. We'll be taking tours throughout the upcoming months, going through the buildings so our members have an idea of what we need to do when we're responding, God forbid, to those buildings. Most recently, the department accepted delivery of our forcible entry door prop, which was bought from Firehouse Innovations in Long Island. We sent 4 members to pick it up who received Train the Trainer. And this is probably one of our biggest purchases as far as training moving forward in a very long time. So we're very pleased with that. We're happy to start training on that. Would like to mention that one of our members, Trevor O'Boyle, is a member of the Marine Reserves, and he's going to be deploying within the next day or two to, I believe, Okinawa as a start, but we're not sure where he's going from there. So I just wanted to mention that, and we have him in our thoughts and prayers. And just also for the members of the Pompton Lakes Fire Department, they responded to a residential house fire on Saturday, June 14th, and several of their members were injured in an ensuing explosion in a house. So we just wanted to send our thoughts and prayers to them.
In January, right?
That was in January, yeah, January 14th. That's all I have right now.
Thank you so much, Chief. You look dapper tonight.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Dressed to impress.
Thank you. Captain Frino, you want to come up?
Apologize for being late. I was at the Roselle Park High School
Unacceptable.
basketball game.
Unacceptable.
Working security. We did win over beat Manville.
All right.
Unfortunately, the chief couldn't be here today. He apologizes. He had some obligations to take care of. I'm glad to sit in for him. I know he previously submitted his report to you all already. If there's any any questions that you guys have regarding that report, I'd be happy to answer that right now, or anything off topic of away from the report.
Actually, you're just training tonight. We wanted to see if you're ready. Good job, Cap.
Yeah, good.
Sorry to put you on the spot here.
No
but
worries.
Can you just talk a little bit about the deployment of the flock system we have in town now?
Sure. The flock system is a license plate reader system that we have. We had 3 cameras deployed around town. One is over by the 7-Eleven at the 600 block of West Westfield Avenue. And it captures all the license plates going towards the parkway. And it captures basically stolen cars, stolen license plates. It'll actually let you know if there's a missing person reported that's related to that motor vehicle. There's also another one on the other side of Westfield Avenue at the Sun Tavern, capturing all the license plates that are coming into town from the parkway, coming into town. So we have those 2 cameras in and out, and they're solar powered, and they're maintained on the property owners of 7-Eleven. They were kind enough to let us use their property to put this license plate reader on their property, and also Sun Tavern. The 3rd camera was a powered camera that we put on the light pole at East Grant and Chestnut Street, and captures all the northbound traffic on Chestnut Street going towards Union. We'd like to enhance this program in the future years, but we're still getting a grip on how it works and utilizing it for some criminal activity as well. If you have a crime that happens in a certain part of town, a motor vehicle is used in that commission of that crime. You can actually do research if you have a description of a car and it goes to a certain location through town. You can look at that license plate reader for that certain time frame, and it'll actually give you a couple license plates that could possibly be correlated to that job. So it's actually a great program. I know that they took about 2 months before it got actually deployed, but they've been up and running and have been working well.
Yeah, I mean, the other nice thing that is the interconnectivity with the other departments who have these, because I know they're rolling them out kind of throughout our region because there's been a spate of stolen cars and different ways of solving these kind of crimes. And it's nice because you guys have a natural way to talk to each other. If we have these long corridors like Route 28 that run through, that literally go from Elizabeth to Somerset County and, and beyond, Morris County and beyond. I just think it's a great tool.
Yeah,
Figured we'd
we
highlight
actually
it.
view it on a web-based portal. And, going with Andrew said, I could see if there's a stolen car that comes through Linden, or even, I know Roselle's getting a few cameras. Westfield has cameras already. They're trying to enhance the program. It was a good company to work with. They were easy to work with, and the deployment was actually very good. So I'll be eager to enhance it, like I said, if this works well for us. And I know the county is rolling out some cameras to different towns, and I'm hoping maybe they'll put something on East End for us to work, better in the town itself.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Cool. I've got a question,
Sure.
Captain. Good. Do you have any information on the Safe, what is it, not the Safe Kids program, the one that just was implemented about a week ago, the Safe Space?
So I know that the chief of police was spearheading that. I'll be quite honest with you, I didn't have any interaction with that whole program. That was basically through the COP and the chief of police. And I know that the prosecutor from Union County just came here just the other day where they did a presentation and a little press release on how they were deploying this program. And I guess it was, from my understanding, it's an anti-bullying type program where some of the businesses in town or some of the schools have these stickers, and that's the safe haven for you to go and go to those business owners and seek safety while you contact the police so that we can take care of, whatever the bullying is. Or
Sounds like you got it all down. You know it. Yeah, that's it.
And Councilman, just, I know the chief of police put in a requisition to order some of the signage for the program.
Okay.
So we're probably waiting on delivery of that. And then once that, we'll probably push it out a little further.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Thanks, Captain.
You're welcome.
Engineering, want to come up?
Okay.
That was, that's cool. Engineer works too. Whatever. No, it's good. You're up already. It's good.
Gotta explain it.
It's cool.
Oh, you said engineering?
We were going to get to him eventually, so it's cool.
All right, well, forgiving that indiscretion, good afternoon, or good evening, Mayor and Council. Engineering report for January is as follows. There was no DRC meeting this month. We had one application on the Land Use Board for the month of January. The application was heard and then approved subsequently on the meeting, which I believe was January 16th. We are now waiting for resolution compliance with that application, as well as a notification of when they're going to start construction. Obviously, the resolution will happen before construction, so waiting on that, and then we'll move forward with that. As far as any other additional work, my firm has been tasked with updating some of the borough's maps, specifically the tax map and the zoning map. Those are ongoing endeavors, which we are hoping to have finalized by the end of this month. At this point, if there's any questions or comments, I can try and answer them to the best of my ability.
I think I'm good. Any other questions?
Yeah, I do. You're currently working on a project over in Beechwood Ave, Andrew?
I believe that's your special projects engineer, so Andrew may be able to.
That's right. Okay.
It wasn't, but we can certainly talk about it offline.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Jonathan Ranieri?
One way.
Good evening. I would like to thank Mayor Signorello and Town Council for giving me the opportunity to provide a brief update. The goal of the Roselle Park Recreation Department is to meet the recreational needs of our community. As part of our department's effort to meet these needs and expand community services, our department provides a wide range of programs. Membership and recreation. We currently have over 460 recreational members. The winter recreational programs are as follows: fitness, wrestling, basketball, RP, performing arts, off-season baseball, middle school, high school, and adult volleyball and fitness. Homework and aftercare. We currently have 152 members daily. We are transporting over 90 and escorting 50 students daily. I need to mention that we are working very hard to correct the transportation issues we're experiencing. We are pleased to report that our department will offer the following 2023 additions to the recreational programming: RP spring events, adult basketball and golf, elementary and middle school game and dance nights, RP PAC, and middle school after-school recreational sports play. We believe these additions will afford our community members the requested programming. Recreational programming updates: RP PAC, Performing Arts Program. We currently have 14 registrations. If interested in joining the RP PAC, please join us on Monday or Thursdays at 6 p.m. in the ASYC. Wrestling: Pee Wee, Bantam, Central Jersey, and grade school teams have been competing since December in dual meets and tournaments throughout the state. We're happy to report our teams are representing Roselle Park well, and we have a number of tournament champions and place winners. The coaches are excited about this young group of wrestlers. Basketball. Basketball numbers are very good. We have 11 teams practicing and competing in schools throughout the borough and county. We have 76 games scheduled, not including playoffs and championships, that will be held in the high school main gym. We are excited about the number of young talent in the basketball program. Fitness. We currently have 14 registrations. Fitness is Monday through Friday at either 6 a.m. in the ASYC or 5 p.m. in the high school weight room. Off-season volleyball. We currently have 35 middle school and high school registrations. Volleyball practices are Tuesday nights between 6:15 and 9 p.m. in the ASYC. Off-season baseball. We currently have 14 registrations. Baseball practices are in our new multi-purpose cage on Wednesdays at 6:15 in the ASYC. Adult pickleball has begun. If interested, please join us on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. in the ASYC. Registration is still open. Adult volleyball has begun. If interested, please join us on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. in the ASYC. I'd like to personally thank all of the volunteers that help organize and coach our recreational programs. Recreational Department will continue to post information on our social media platforms. In addition, you can find this information on the borough's website, rosellepark.net. Click Recreation. That completes our February Recreational Department update. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No, just a compliment, Director Ranieri. Every time you come up here, there's always an update in programming. You're always doing more. I don't know how you do it, but you do it very well, and I thank you and your team.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Yes.
Paulie. Go. Unless the engineer wants to come up again.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Borough Representatives, and residents of Roselle Park. I'd like to start off with just running through the full-time DPW employees that we have in terms of positions. We're fully staffed with a superintendent, clerical position, 1 mechanic, 2 shade tree operators, 2 operators, 2 Class 2 laborers, and 3 Class 1 laborers. In December, we were finally able to execute the sidewalk repair program.
Hooray.
Yes, it was a long time coming. That included 21 sidewalks and 2 aprons. Under this program, the borough will consider requests by homeowners for repairs to the sidewalks that are cracked, broken, or severely lifted by trees planted between the sidewalk and the curb lines. Requests are accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. Approvals are not guaranteed. We do get a lot of requests just to come out and repair sidewalks that are not damaged by trees. We do put them down on the list, we inspect them, and typically they have been denied. Criteria for requests are the following. Sidewalks must be broken or cracked by roots of the tree planted between the sidewalk and the curb line. Lifted sidewalks must be raised a minimum of 1 inch over a normal level plane of the sidewalk path. The application for this program is on our website, or you can contact the Department of Public Works at 908-245-7676 for additional information. In road work, I'm going to go over a couple different things. as most of you know, all of you know, in mid-December, we noticed that there was a shift in the pavement area on East Grant and Pershing. We continue to monitor it over the next few weeks. On January 4th, the borough administrator and I and Chief McCaffrey determined to close off that intersection for safety reasons. At which point we made a decision to retain a contractor to perform emergency exploratory work to determine what the cause of the pavement of the movement was. The next day, which was January 5th, the vendor was on site along with New Jersey American Water, and it was determined at that point that an underground water main leak was the cause of the problem. The work extended over a large area of that intersection. The leak was fixed overnight, and the first layer of pavement was installed the very next morning. Because the area of disturbance was so large, it needed time to settle. Therefore, we waited about 3 weeks to have the final layer of pavement installed, and it was done on January 30th. So that area has been restored and fully reopened. Sanitary sewer work. Sewer calls are up. Wow, that was quick. Sewer calls have been up lately, especially since the weather's gotten colder, mostly due to what we're finding is debris or towels being thrown into or flushed down toilets, that and grease, especially where there are restaurants. So I would, express that people, even homeowners, don't dispose of cooking oil or any sort of products down the toilet or your sink, because the oil coagulates as the weather gets colder and it becomes waxy, almost like a rock. And we've had some sewer issues, especially along Westfield Avenue, as of late. Other miscellaneous road repairs. We just had the catch basins at the intersection of Larch Street and West Roselle fixed and/or replaced. Catch basins at 117 East Westfield Avenue were just fixed, and a sinking manhole on the 300 block of Bender Avenue was just replaced. Equipment. Most of our equipment is functioning and working properly. We will be losing the tree truck and chipper for a few days, I assume. I'm scheduling that to be inspected. It needs its annual inspection and diagnostic done, and the chipper does need some maintenance work. The sweeper is out on its routine schedule, weather permitting. The weather's been cooperating, hasn't been cold enough. Last year we lost the sweeper, or we had to put the sweeper away for a couple weeks. It was just too cold to run the sweeper. Garbage recycling, vegetation, and bulk. East side garbage collection is every Tuesday and Friday. West side is every Monday and Thursday. Recycling pickup is every Wednesday, alternating week of paper products and commingling bottles, cans, and plastics. We are currently not picking up vegetation anymore. We have sporadically on a as-need basis. That contract with our vendor expired on December 31st, and it will begin again on April 1st. That concludes my report. If you have any questions, you can reach me at pbiamonte@rosellepark.net or at the DPW office at 908-245-7676.
Thanks, Paul. Any questions?
No, I just wanted to tell Paul.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I got one. But go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, all right.
My fault.
Sure, Jay.
I'm gonna recant my good job. Then. I'm gonna retract that. No. Great job with you guys responding to Persian and keeping us, and East Grant, with keeping us posted on that concern. Immediately it got addressed, and great job to Junior as well. I bumped into him out there. He was around lurking, so I just wanted to say kudos to you guys. I live up the street, so I have the right to be looking at it. I just want to say great job on that, and thank you for finally addressing that the sidewalk program. Appreciate you.
All right, yeah, my question was just, I guess, a little enlightenment or education for homeowners regarding the grease. What's the best way or proper way to dispose of grease instead of down the sink or down the sewer?
I would say put it in a separate container and just dispose of it in the garbage, because it's not, it doesn't work by this. I mean, it helps the homeowner by disposing of it down the sink, but it's creating problems for us, especially over the winter months.
Oh, I can just imagine. But yeah, and I just wanted, so the viewing audience can, shorter report, I'm going to ask a couple more questions.
Oh, okay, God, we moved it up front today. Okay, good. All right, thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Andrew, Ken, you guys got anything?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a friendly reminder, first quarter taxes are due. You have until February 10th to pay without interest. And we are working diligently on the budget and
Should be fun.
yeah. That's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Ken. Andrew?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, as Ken said, we're starting to work on the budget. It's going to be a much more challenging year than it was last year and probably the last few years. The Finance Committee's first meeting is coming up on February 23rd, so we're eager to share the preliminary findings in the budget. We probably won't have all of the information at that point, but we will be able to start the process with the governing body at that time. Something on the clerk's office front that we're contending with right now is the full enactment of Daniel's Law. So Daniel's Law, very well-intentioned law that went into effect, very challenging to implement. Daniel's Law makes it such that law enforcement officials, officers of the court and alike can request in their residing municipality that their information, personal identifying information and residences are redacted from all public documents. Even for a small municipality, there's a tremendous amount of public information that we retain and safeguard on behalf of the public with public information on it. It's a challenge for every municipality in the state, and here is no exception. So we're going to be learning more about that as time goes on. We have had a few requests so far, so I'm eagerly and diligently trying to address this issue on behalf of those residents in the borough as a whole. On an election front, I know we're a little bit ways away. Petitions are available in my office. The offices up this year are Council at Large and First Ward, along with 20 members of the Democratic Committee. For more information, just contact the clerk's office or stop by. And that's all I have for now, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, may I have a motion to, am I missing any reports? I don't think so.
No.
May I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2712 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2712 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, a bond ordinance providing for phases 2B, 3B, 4, 5, and 6 of the local units allocable share of the flood mitigation facilities project of the joint meeting of Essex and Union counties, buying in the borough of Roselle Park in the county of Union, state of New Jersey, the local unit, appropriating $1,925,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,925,000 bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof.
Okay. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2712?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2712?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Aye.
Oh, no, it's just all so moved.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Close.
Motion to adopt ordinance number 2712?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? That's what I meant to say. Okay. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Robina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2713 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2713 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Section 13 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Parking Prohibited for Street Cleaning.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2713 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as February 16th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Thank you.
Yes, you want to give a little update on, can the borough administrator give a little update as to why we're introducing this ordinance? Just for the clarification.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so absolutely. So this is the first step in probably what will be multi-steps for the governing body. As everybody knows, a lot of our traffic regulations, particularly with respect to parking, have been systematically screwed up is the technical term, over the course of decades. So we're going to have to systematically undo it. This ordinance represents a wholesale elimination of the current code as it pertains to street sweeping regulations. This implements a true alternate side arrangement for street sweeping. I understand that there are some streets where there's only parking on one side, so that there will have to be another ordinance that creates, alleviates that stress point for the residents of those particular streets. That's understood. So this in and of itself will not solve all of the parking problems. But what this does is two things. One, it creates the alternate side parking. It ensures that every street in the borough will be swept on a regular schedule. And somewhere buried in what I just said are the 2 points I was trying to hit. But we have had a lot of complaints over the last few years about cars are parked, it's unenforceable, the street is dirty, on and on. Everybody knows it, everybody's heard it, and everybody's felt it who live in town. This ordinance is designed to address those things. And again, there will be other portions of this that we're going to have to address. If there's streets, like I said, that have no parking on one full side of the street. In addition to that, permit parking will have to be looked at as part of this.
That's what I was going to ask.
So we will be taking a street-by-street approach. This ordinance, if it is adopted after the public hearing, if it's introduced tonight and adopted after the public hearing, the enactment is not until later in the year. So typically an ordinance, after it's adopted, the next week it's active. I believe the delay on this is July 1st. Part of that is just the sheer having to purchase the signs to implement it. And part of it is all of the other review of the code that will have to be looked at as part of this. So we will have many months in between. This was a collaborative effort between myself, the police department, and the Department of Public Works. So we hope this is, again, a very good first step in the process.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Andrew, I just wanted to go on the record and say, and I'm hoping that the police chair and public safety chair, Joe, is on this, because what I don't want to happen is like last year when we start changing some of the laws and rules, we start banging residents. So I just want I hope that the parking authority and the police department can start off initially with initial warnings to get residents acclimated to the new change before we just start doing that.
Andrew knows on this one. We need to have a grace period.
I don't want that.
And the new police chief will know.
So I hear you, Councilman, and I've heard all of the council members and the mayor loud and clear last year. I've already spoken to the police chief and the police captain. We are all in full agreement that even with the delayed enactment of the ordinance, once we are fully ready to go, there will be a warning period that will be at least 30 days.
That's all I ask.
There will be a warning period of at least 30 days to get people acclimated, receive the warnings, understand.
And then you're done.
And then
30 days is more than enough.
And then we will announce that it will be fully enforced.
I know we're on the same page, man.
No, yeah.
But just to help Andrew out this has taken a lot of legwork and this is kind of my initiative the last year and a half. And it's still going to take another 6 months plus because the signs didn't match ordinances and all the above. So progress, let's not look in the rearview mirror, let's look forward. And so there are parts of the streets that never get swept. And a shame on some people don't move their cars, but this is the right path to get it done. Thank you, Andrew.
Absolutely.
Great work, Andrew. You're the best. She's good. I don't know I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, call the roll. Andrew, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Robina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Please read ordinance number 2714 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2714 is an ordinance for introduction. An ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 41, Subsection 1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Roselle Park Diversity and Inclusion Committee created.
What do we do it here?
We just make it a correction.
You got to read the motion.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2714 for introduction?
So move.
Second.
I mean, this is on me because I'm off, but you guys gotta let me finish. Let me finish. For introduction, and fix the date for a second reading and public hearing as February 16th. Can we count the so moved?
I got it.
Yeah, all right.
Councilman Cigarello
yelled at me. I
moved,
was
seconded
slow
by
last month.
Councilman Urbina.
Is there any discussion? What are we doing here?
Yeah, Mayor, I'll
right,
take it. The Diversity and Inclusion Committee for some time has been having discussions on tweaking this ordinance that's already on the books. Andrew, you, as always, doing a wonderful job with making the necessary adjustments so that it can reflect the true meaning of diversity and inclusion. So that's all. Thank you, Andrew.
Cool.
2 words.
Any further discussion?
You're the man.
Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Cigarello.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Lovely. All matters with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Please go ahead and read the resolutions, Andrew.
Resolution 5823 is authorizing submission of a Community Development Block Grant CARES Act CDBG CV application. Resolution 5923 is rescinding Resolution 23222 and canceling the purchase of one 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe from Mall Chevy in the amount not to exceed $45,136.99. Resolution 6023 is authorizing the purchase of one 2022 Tahoe for the Fire Department from Gentili Chevrolet LLC pursuant to New Jersey State Contract Number 21-Fleet-01485 in an amount not to exceed $52,943.12. Resolution 6123 is a resolution approving participation with the State of New Jersey grant program administered by the New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety Office of the State Attorney General. That's the Safe and Secure Grant. Resolution 6223 is appointing Zahir K. Bass, as part-time community center clerk. Resolution 6323 is authorizing the tax collector to issue reductions and/or refunds in the total amount of $6,200 on one property as ordered by the tax court of the state of New Jersey. Resolution 64-23 is authorizing the tax collector to cancel first quarter 2023, second quarter 2023, and all future property taxes pursuant to an eligibility certification issued by the tax assessor pursuant to the New Jersey Nonprofit Corporation Act for 21B Colfax Manor, Block 401, Lot 6.02 of the municipal tax map. Resolution 6523 is authorizing the hanging of a banner in Michael J. Morey Park advertising Roselle Park High School's 2023 musical. Resolution 6623 is appointing Elsa Lesticow to the Roselle Park Green Team. Resolution 6723 is approving a 5-year tax payment for 303 Seton Avenue, Block 303, Lot 23 of the municipal tax map. And Resolution 6823 is authorizing the mayor and borough clerk to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Smart Sheet Metal Workers Local Union Number 22 for the hire of temporary employees if, when, and where needed within the sole discretion of the borough.
We got to pull 62-23. Are we pulling anything else? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt resolution 62-23?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
So, yeah.
I need a second. Somebody say second.
Second.
There we go.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I would like to abstain from 62-23 because there's some relation there.
Yep, cool. Any further discussion? Okay, Andrew, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson is abstaining. Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, 1 abstention. The resolution is adopted, Mayor.
Lovely. Okay, reports of Borough Council committees. Councilman Signorello.
Yes. I'd like to thank, a lot of thanks to
Microphone, sir.
Andrew this evening. Andrew, thank you and the police chief working diligently to repair the lights, the blinking lights for the pedestrian at Sherman and Westfield. A lot of residents are very happy. And look, we hope they're used properly and hopefully they save a life. But thank you for being instrumental to get the movement on that. I'd like to thank Rich Lucio and his team on working with the Board of Ed on the process of removing students that don't belong there. As a former board member, the process wasn't working well, and myself and Mr. Harms brought it together to utilize Board of Ed and the district construction to get rid of these people that don't belong going to our schools. Thank you to both groups. And thank you again on the 2713, the sweeper ordinance. Andrew, thank you again on your coordination with the state DOT and coming in and doing the storm sewer work the last couple of days. And if you want to just briefly what they're doing, I could tell you, my brother tells me and I can't remember, but in front of Frenchie's, it hasn't been done like that in 40 years. I know we were successful doing this. I don't know if it's the same vendor, Chestnut Street behind it there. It is.
It is,
and
yeah.
I believe the fruits of our labor have worked, and hopefully what they're doing and where they're going will help the borough.
So they're actually, Councilman, I can't take the credit for that. This is DOT, and as much as I like to knock them as much as I can, rightfully so, they came in and they're doing this from Dalton Street to Plainfield.
Nice.
So they're going all the way across the county. Why they picked Dalton Street, I don't know. And I don't know what
You know
is
why
beyond.
they picked style.
But why they picked Dalton Street and not Galloping Hill Road or Elizabeth, I'm not sure.
I'm just playing.
But they're cleaning out the stormwater system all the way through the corridor.
Well, don't give yourself credit. I think you've been having a little better relationship with them as one point of contact. So
Absolutely.
it has been working. So your kindness has helped. Anybody needs to get a hold of me, 908-721-6488. And have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, I would like to begin my report by commemorating a quote from such an inspirational and great civil rights leader whom I had admiration and respect for early on in my youth growing up within my community. And that meaningful quote begins, "There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because his conscience tells him it's right." Martin Luther King Jr. Such a very powerful statement that I try my best to live by. I try my darndest. But just a few other more notable mentions to commemorate and celebrate February as Black History Month, honoring those who made astonishing accomplishments within within American culture / society. Sadie Tanner Roselle Alexander was a writer, first Black woman to receive a PhD in economics in the United States, first Black woman student to graduate from Penn Law School, and the first African American to actually practice, a woman to actually practice law in Pennsylvania. Arthur Ashe, tennis player, won 3 Grand Slams, and was the first Black player ever selected to the United States Davis Cup team. He also was the first African American to win a singles title Wimbledon. But what I found fascinating more about him was that he started a foundation that raised awareness for AIDS and advocated teaching safe sex education. Moving along, committee meetings and project endeavors that I attended recently: Meridian on Westfield, Union Chamber, that will be discussed by my other colleagues, Ebenezer Restaurant, ribbon cutting, and I'm looking forward to 157 new business ribbon cutting this weekend. As a friendly reminder, the Diversity and Inclusion Committee would like me to reiterate to residents that we will be having a Juneteenth event celebration. More details, as the chair said earlier, will follow. I'd like to also announce the business of the month that we traditionally allow each council representative to select one, although the Commerce oversees that committee. The committee, the small business that I selected was Pose Cuts, and we'll do a press release, but I've been there before. I had a haircut there before, and these individuals are very talented and they're very courteous. And I think it was appropriate to give them an opportunity to shine a little bit in Roselle Park, and maybe that could help stimulate their business as well. Lastly, please remember your voice matters, and as First Ward Council, I will always place the concerns of the residents within the borough of Roselle Park first, because local concerns matter. If you need to get in contact with me, please give me an email. You can write me, gjohnson@rosellepark.net, or you could call me at 908-303-1519. And Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Hey, actually, before we go to Joe, real quick, speaking, Post Cuts made me think of this. There's like a waffle place on Westfield Avenue over Post Cuts. Like they started building out a build out and then it paused. Do you have any update on them, Rich?
I haven't seen.
Hide nor hair, right? Weird. Yeah, because they started and then just nothing.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Every time I pass by, I'm like, it looks like 80% done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Councilman Petrosky,
Thank you, Mayor.
how do you feel about waffles? All right.
What about chicken and waffles?
I love my mother loved that. Okay, I want to send condolences out to Patty Schaefer, who was only 25 years old, who passed away last week. I had the honor of coaching her in Little League on my softball team. Her mother was former president of the Women's Auxiliary for the Roselle Park Youth Baseball Softball League for many years. So my condolences go out to the Schaefer family. Angela Pinger, who I graduated with her son many years ago. Okay. And Anna Barbosa, who was 104 years old.
Wow.
Like that. January 27th, I attended the PBA Gala. I had a very good time, and I thank the PBA for inviting me. The 28th, I attended Ebenezer ribbon cutting with the pizza thing. Mayor, you left too early. Right after you left.
I leave and they bring the pizza out, I know.
Yeah, but I, hopefully we can give business to them and everything. I also want to wish a happy 60th birthday to Nicola from Costas.
Hey.
Okay. Recreation Easter egg hunt will be at the library April 1st, 2023, from 11 to 1. Flyers will be going out shortly. So I just want to give everyone an update. Okay, and also I want to send congratulations to our two new firemen, Thomas Schwartz and Michael Singler. Good luck, guys. Stay safe, please. If you need to get a hold of me, it's jpetrosky@rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821. That's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I actually want to start out with some humor. Bear with me. It will go on into the report. I read this week. So Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson were on a camping trip. Greg, I see you looking at me.
I love it.
In the middle of the night, Holmes woke up and gave Dr. Watson a nudge and said, "Watson," he said, "look up in the sky and tell me what you see." "I see millions of stars," Holmes replied. And he said, well, what do you conclude, Dr. Watson? Well, he said, "I see millions of galaxies, potentially billions of planets. I observe the Saturn is in Leo. I think it's 3:15. He said, "I suspect that we will have a beautiful day tomorrow." And he went on and on. He said, "And also I see that God is all powerful and we are small and insignificant." He looked at Holmes and said, "Well, what do you see?" He said, "Watson, you idiot. Someone has stolen our tent." Haha. Okay. So
Yay.
the point of this is look at what is obvious. Sometimes we look so deep into things that we're not looking into the obvious. So I pretty much I reiterate some things that the other councilmen have spoken about. This past couple weeks has been definitely full with many great things. So the first thing, we had a meet and greet with the Greater Union Township Chamber of Commerce. Jim Masterson and definitely other people from the town, businesses were there. Many members here were also there. It was a great connect. Having them join us and come into the town is just going to be a very positive thing. So I'm very excited about that. Assemblyman Reginald Atkins was also there. He was great pleasure to meet him and also to see Evan Collier there. Faith from House 157. So she is the new owner. And it was a complete, just super connection with her. I'm so excited also for Saturday to see there, to be there with her for the ribbon cutting ceremony. And also, that was also catered by Danny, the business owner right by, I forgot.
Neary's Deli.
Yeah.
What is it?
Neary's Deli.
Neary's Deli. So, yeah, he was wonderful as well. I also attended the PBA Gala, and it was wonderful to see everyone there and the support. I do just applaud Roselle Park Police Department. It was great to see Captain Farino and really what he also presented tonight. That was very enlightening, and I'm excited about that. We need to feel safe in Roselle Park, and it's great to have those things. Also, I went to the Ebenezer ribbon cutting, and I met Elias and Petronilo, and I was so excited to see the pizza and taco business. The reason I say people's names, so Faith, Elias, Petronilo, we need to understand these are family-owned businesses in Roselle Park, and we need to support them. So that really brings me to what I started with, is looking at the obvious. Yesterday, I was able to go and speak to the owner of Just Jubilant on East Westfield Avenue. Her name is Jennifer, and the amazing gifts that they have. I mean, have you guys gone in there?
Yeah. I just got birthday gifts from you there. They were very
hello.
nice. Thank you. Yeah.
I did. I went for you. I said, this is a perfect opportunity. But it was just, to be honest, these shops are down the shore. And we have one right here in Roselle Park. A lot of people don't know. So instead of me going to get a card or getting something else and going into the mall or whatever, I said, oh, I need to go there. And I stood there and spoke to Jennifer for over like an hour. And I heard her story. And a lot of people just don't know that they're there. So I need to mention that tonight. We need to go out there. If anybody's listening in Roselle Park and you haven't visited, go, okay? Also, I want to mention Allure Boutique. Paola is the owner there, and they have amazing dresses. So ladies, go there. No, and it's prom season, and she's going to be busy. But other towns, she told me, Elizabeth, other towns are coming into Roselle Park to shop here. And Roselle Park sometimes they don't even know that she's there. So shop local is the point. And I'm so excited for the coffee spot and other businesses that I'm just gonna, just say hi and offer any services. So I also put together some videos on the Roselle Park Forum and also my social media for them. And it's not just a picture, it's some just video so everybody could see what they have. So again, look at the obvious, just open our eyes and let's get into there as a community and be there for them. But if anyone wants to contact me, my number is 908-726-8773, and email is rlyons@rosellepark.net. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman.
Thanks, Mayor.
Did you try to switch?
Yeah.
Use Jay's.
Every time. All right, thanks, Sir Mayor.
It's not a conspiracy, I swear.
Looks like it. Good evening. First, I would like to start with the month of the February recognize and celebrates the achievements and contributions of African Americans to the country history, culture, and society. Black History Month is an important opportunity to reflect on the past and celebrate the present and envision a better future for all. Next, as a council chair of Rosa Park Commerce, I support trying opportunities to potentially help small businesses. So on Thursday, January 26th, officials of the Greater Union Township, NJ Chambers of Commerce, and the Borough of Rosa Park gather at Meridia on Westville to announce a new partnership to support the local Rosa Park business community. We are eager to improve the local business economy and believe this partnership can be beneficial to and will strengthen the Rosa Park business community. Next, I would like to highlight two new businesses that I recently visited. Lighthouse Photography / Lighthouse Studio, that is LYTE, and visitor Mexican food and pizzeria. A Lighthouse Photography is located at 199 West Clay Avenue across the Girl Scout Park. They do all kinds of photography such as weddings, sweet 16s, birthday and family portraits. They also have an in-house photography studio on the location. I also want to mention that they are having a Valentine's special photo shoot for anyone interested, to make sure to check them out. Their website is lytehousephotography.com. Second, I attended the ribbon cutting event on January 28th at the El Business Mexican Food and Pizzeria located at 521 Westville Avenue on January 28th. Oh, that was weird. This is not a new restaurant, as they have been open for over a year, but be sure to check them out, as especially on Tuesdays, as they have on Taco Tuesday, they have $1 tacos, so go ahead. A new restaurant, House 157, will be hosting a ribbon cutting on February 4th, located at 157 East Westville Ave, with entertainment, free food, and wine tasting. I welcome House 57 to our business community and wish them every success in their endeavors, and look forward to seeing the positive impact they will bring to the community. Lastly, I would like to mention that the Citizen Bank Community Champion Grant, which was recently posted on the board's social media page, is a wonderful opportunity for small businesses to win $10,000 grant. However, it's only eligible for businesses with 5 or more full or part-time employees. Unfortunately, a great many mom and pop businesses in Rosa Park will not be eligible for this grant. Therefore, I like to suggest we prepare a resolution for the next meeting asking the Citizen Bank to change their eligibility requirement for the next year grant and allow more of our small businesses, like Councilwoman here suggested, to have a chance of winning $10,000. As liaison, of the Environmental Commission, I would like to note that the next meeting will be held on February 15th at 7 p.m. at the Casino Center. Announcement on that, the borough has developed an online form which is designed to provide local residents with an easy way to request the planting of shade tree within their public right-of-the-way in front or adjacent to their home. Those unable to complete their form online can call the borough's clerk's office during the regular business hours, and the staff will enter the information on behalf of the requesting residents for review. I received 2 complaints. A resident complained about the speeding violation on Hawthorne Street, and the police chief has requested a traffic study to gather data that we can use to analyze and determine the best solution. The resident also reported that an ambulance arrived late at their location, and the police chief assured me that our response time has greatly improved after our contract with the Union County EMS. The chief will have the Union County Emergency Medical Service EMS response time concerned to look into determine what may have happened on that response time. Another resident from 250 Meridia property reached out to me about not having a crosswalk painted, but thanks to Andrew, I was brought up to date on this request from the New Jersey Department of Transportation, and I assure Meridia residents that Andrew is consistently following up on this request with the DOT and won't rest until a resolution is met.
And the mayor.
And the mayor, sure. If you need to get in contact with me, you can email me at kpatel@rosepark.net or call me at 908-726-8774. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Rabina?
Well, good evening, Mayor, colleagues on the dais, and good evening, Roselle Park. The power suggestion works because after everybody talked about Ebenezer Pizzeria and Restaurant, I'm in the mood for tacos and Italian food.
Let's go.
All right, it's on you. All right, well, let's start with infrastructure. On January 25th, I attended the Union County Transportation Advisory Board meeting. The new $7.4 million Gordon Street Bridge is on track and confirmed to reopen this summer. If you visit the site, you'll notice the span is much wider than it was, as it will soon be able to accommodate a turning lane in the center of the bridge, along with a 5-foot wide sidewalk along the eastern side of the span. During the meeting, they had mentioned that DOT has invested over $83 million in Union County. Also, regarding rails and trails, the feasibility study for the rails and trails, potential greenway along the Central New Jersey train line, right here behind us, has been completed. Regarding the rails and trails activity behind this complex, is it feasible? Yes, it is. The report does highlight some pretty high costs and notes multiple agencies, including Conrail Shared Assets and DEP regarding permitting and safety issues. They note that the proposed project will span multiple years, but everything starts somewhere, so this is a great start. Also on infrastructure, if you're a Fifth Ward resident and have a concern, sewer grates, curbs, potholes, requests for street paving, let me know. Because of residents reaching out, we've been able to address many important issues. DOT recently came out and installed safety striping on Route 28 and installed do not block the intersection signage on Grove Street, so it's safer for residents entering and exiting the street. Soon there will be flashing beacons on Route 28 by Jerome, and the team is working to make Faytoot safer by Aldine School and Park. I'm following up on other road and utility infrastructure projects brought to our attention by residents and assisting ward residents currently with parking issues and property maintenance, code enforcement, and utility work concerns. Regarding business, on Thursday the 26th, I attended an event at Meridian on Westfield announcing Roselle Park's partnership with the Greater Union Township Chamber of Commerce. We all talked about it. What this collaboration does is provide resources for businesses if they so choose to engage. The goal of this affiliation is to further support our businesses by connecting them with the tools they can use to grow, including mentorship, B2B, business to business, and consumer resources, discounts, networking, and exposure to new clients. For example, the Chamber will be hosting an event on Wednesday, March 22nd from 5 to 7 p.m. at the new location, House 157. This event will cover how to successfully network to grow your business, how to recognize opportunities, how to differentiate from the competition, build alliances, and increase your customer base and bottom line. It's a $10 fee for Chamber members and $15 for non-members. Any businesses interested in learning more about this partnership with the Chamber, please reach out to me, the governing body liaison to the Chamber, at 862-236-0019, or email me at jrabine@rosellepark.net. On Friday the 27th, many of my colleagues here and I support our local PBA, PBA 27, attending the Silver Life Card Awards Dinner. Congrats to Borough Administrator Casais for being one of the honorees, receiving the highest award a civilian can get from the PBA. And big thanks to the Police Benevolent Association for all the support given to our community, purchasing life-saving equipment like automatic electronic defibrillators for our Youth Baseball League, donating books to our library, food to the Castano Center and the Church of the Assumption, the Special Olympics torch run, and much, much more. On Saturday, the 28th, many of us here attended the ribbon cutting for Ebenezer Restaurant on Westfield Ave. Yes, they've been open for a year, but they reached out for an actual ribbon cutting. If you have a business in our borough or know someone who recently opened who would like us to host a ribbon cutting, please reach out to myself as the borough's chamber liaison or Councilman Patel, who's the borough's liaison to commerce. Matter of fact, this Saturday, February 4th, will be the grand opening of House 157, located at 157 East Westfield Avenue. Come out, check out the space. There's free food tasting at 11, and join us for the ribbon cutting at noon. It's a variety of diversity and cultural cuisines and good times, including salsa nights and dine-ins to Afrobeat music. Also, visit the borough's website, rosellepark.net. You'll find the Roselle Park Business Directory. You'll find Boom Local that was spearheaded by my colleague, Councilman Johnson, last year. Thank you for that. Business of the Month information, small business resources, and a link to the Chamber of Commerce, unionchamber.com, where business owners can learn more about becoming a member and tap into resources. It's Black History Month, so thank you to Councilman Johnson for the tribute, for the Pioneer tributes. For more information, exhibits, collections, arts, culture, and to learn more about our pioneers and leaders, visit blackhistorymonth.org. And as liaison to Board of Health, just a reminder, it's Heart Health Month, so visit heart.org for cardiovascular health tips. Last but not least, Mayor, when I first met you, I felt a little bit old. Now that you're having your birthday, not so much. So I'd like to say happy birthday to you. Thank you for everything.
You're lucky you're under 7 minutes because you wouldn't be getting an extension today after
No,
that.
7 minutes. I'm right before. Thank you to all who reached out and continue to reach out. Again, I'm here for you, 862-236-0019 and jrubine at rosellepark.net. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. I mean, like, also, you didn't need to say that. Conjon makes me feel old every time. I'm not it does. It's starting to creak.
I feel like you're getting closer to my age now. So. Okay.
I got Mom told me she can start to see the grays. It's like one at least for every year of being mayor. Okay, I'm gonna keep my report relatively short. A couple things. We have a pre-construction meeting going on for the downtown sidewalk program. I mean, I think the reality of that is we're going to end up doing it either in the spring when things are nice and it's warmed up, or during the summer to minimize the impact on the small businesses. Unfortunately, the reality of the situation is no matter how you slice it, there's going to be some impact over the life of the project. But it's going to look really, really nice when we're done. What else did I say I wanted to mention? Oh, state budget. Yeah. We are really going to struggle this year with the budget. I think there's a couple things that we're facing headwinds with, some of which are Roselle Park specific, some of which are statewide. And I'm going to start advocating. I already have somewhat advocated for some more state aid. But we have our municipal waste collection has basically doubled in cost, right? And we're getting the full bore of that this year. As much as I'd love to say we are all great, and we are pretty fiscally conservative here, part of the reason why you got a $4 reduction on your taxes last year is because we had a bunch of revenue coming in from the new developments, but we are beholden to a 2%, what cap is it? Appropriation cap, right? So we were literally only allowed to spend so much last year, and we got a bunch more money in, yielding the reduction, which is great in theory. But when we have things like a 25% increase in healthcare premiums that we have to pay across the board, plus a doubling of the garbage, plus, just 2% raises, right? Like all of these things accumulate and pretty quickly gobble up that 2% that we are allowed to spend. I hate the property taxes in the state of New Jersey. It's awful how high they are. Every year we've tried to keep them in check. The reality of the situation is we need additional help from the state in terms of either direct relief or whatever, because this is it's going to be a rough year this year. We'll do our best, as always. And again, without the numbers, it might end up being a similar situation next year. We're getting last year we only got the revenue from half of Meridia. This year we'll get the full revenue from Meridia. But there's things we need to spend money on too, right? Like we want to expand programs for the Casano Center. We don't want to have our hands tied every year. So it's really an unfortunate situation, something that I hope the folks down in Trenton can help us address before the year's out. So that's really all I have to report. Mayor Sig at rosellepark.net. Yes, it is my birthday. This Saturday, the 4th, I will be turning the ripe old age of 35. Anybody who wishes to tell me happy birthday may do so at mayorsig@rosellepark.net. Nice comments only. Okay, that concludes my report. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
Second.
All in favor?
God bless you, Mayor.
Everyone want to come up and speak?
Mark Fernandez, 114 Locust Street. I want to comment on the ordinance 2713. Although I think it's a good idea, I don't think it goes far enough. I live in the 4th Ward where, and I live on a county road. We have 2 streets, Butler and Warren, that have alternate side that are only till 12 o'clock. I would just add that if we had an alternate side that maybe went to 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, so that people who are working could leave their car on that one side, come back, because something at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock doesn't allow for someone who has to go to work, come home, and move their car. And because of the parking on Locust, which is only after 9 o'clock and after 6 o'clock, it just allows people to kind of have that room. We also have in the 4th Ward an issue with a lot more commercial trucks parking along Meadow Avenue. I don't know, it's from what's happening on West Grant with a number of businesses there, but they're parking on the Meadow Avenue along the basin overnight. That's it.
Yeah, I think this is just the start of a couple changes we'll have, but Mark duly noted. I know we have that issue on Locust. Anybody else? Seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on any subject?
So move.
Second. Scissors, do I have a second?
Second.
Somebody's got to get it down. All right, so Councilman at Large normally does it. Greg, you're second. Everybody else, quiet down.
I hope I can keep up with
all in favor.
Mike's footsteps.
Aye. Okay. There are 2 matters for closed session this evening. Oh my goodness. Mr. Clerk, please read the closed session resolution into the record.
Yes, Mayor. Whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Roselle Park wish to discuss matters which are described by the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12. Whereas the general nature of the subjects to be discussed in closed session are ongoing litigation, DeLassio versus the Borough of Roselle Park, and potential litigation involving a West Clay Avenue development and the Borough of Roselle Park. And whereas the time when and the circumstances under which the items discussed in closed session will be disclosed to the public at a future time, now therefore be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Roselle Park, County of Union, State of New Jersey, do now adjourn the open portion of the meeting and open a closed portion of the meeting to discuss the aforementioned items. Need a motion?
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Smooth like butter. Okay. Rouse. We could have our secret conversations too.
Must have been like 4 or 5 years old.
It's cool. It's a cool suit. Okay, may I have a motion to return to open session?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So enthusiastic.
Mayor, in closed session, the governing body discussed 2 items, neither of which are resolved or there will be any action taken. The first was Delacio versus the Borough of Roselle Park, a matter of ongoing litigation. The second was a matter of potential litigation involving a West Clay Avenue development project and the Borough of Roselle Park. Again, no action to be taken.
Cool. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good meeting, everybody. Thank you.